Now, Zeke has been dominant against being picked these past couple weeks.
That's
I mean, I haven't been able to get a win in edgewise. But this is the week that I restore my dominance. Brian Gregoire will be back for good. I'm going to sustain for the rest of the year.
That's what you like to think. That's fine. Go ahead.
So this is the marquee matchup of the weekend. This is another, like I say, a calendar circler. I've been anticipating this game for months. The Packers are coming off of a win against the I totally drew a blank. Who they play? The Carolina Panthers. Because it was 2 weeks ago. They're coming off a bye, so I can't think back to that time. They come off of a win against the Panthers. They reassured themselves after their questionable loss to the Chargers. They reassured themselves, but it was still very sloppy. It still wasn't optimal football out of Aaron Rodgers and his offense.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going into Levi Stadium.
Mm-hmm.
The 49ers come off of a very compelling win against the Cardinals.
The hard-fought game. That was a very good game if you didn't get to see that game, by the way. Very good game.
Coming back from behind, developing some resiliency, and I think that the 49ers will translate that into this game. I'm going with the Niners by a score of 27-17. Also, I feel like Aaron Rodgers will be punished by that defensive front. He'll get frustrated, he'll get frazzled, and the finger is going to start coming out.
Oh, boy.
The finger of blame and accusation is going to start coming out. Bakhtari, where's that block?
So here's
Ball this Scantling. Why didn't you run your route correctly? It's all going to start unpacking here.
That's fair. See, here's the thing is, though, we're getting closer to the playoffs. We're getting closer to who's going to win the division. Minnesota's playing really good ball, which means Aaron Rodgers is going to need to play his best, right?
Yeah.
So, Green Bay had a really tough game against Carolina in Lambeau. It was snowing. Don't forget.
Yeah.
So that for one slows down on offense, just so people know, if you don't know that. And San Fran, well, let's just say Kyler Murray threw everything at him.
Yeah.
Threw everything he had at him, and he almost beat him. Granted, it's a division game, so it's a little more understandable. Green Bay, though, I just feel something about Green Bay this week. Better, nice weather. Although, like you said about the Charger game, that was in California, nice weather, and they got a mud hole stomped in them. So, but personally, I'm gonna go Green Bay. I think Green Bay is gonna beat San Fran. I think that this time of the year, Green Bay is at the point where they just are gonna want it so bad that the play calling is gonna be really good. At least I hope so, and I hope that Aaron Rodgers, which I think he will, is gonna execute on a very high level against his team. Granted, it's a very good defense, but Aaron Rodgers has done this against great defenses many times. So I'm going to take Green Bay, and I'm going to go 23, and they're going to hold San Fran to 14.
That's respectable. I think I'm going to win, but that's respectable.
Oh, he thinks he's going to win. Okay, all right. Well, do you honestly think that Jimmy G's going to have a good game? Or do you think they're going to rely more on the run game like they've been doing?
I think that they're very reliant on their defense.
Yeah.
I think that they're going to hold the Packers to a lower score.
Mm-hmm.
17, they pile up 27 points. That seems very Jimmy Garoppolo 49er-esque.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's how they'll capture this win.
And I do want to say one thing, though, is I've been waiting a while for Jimmy G to really start playing really good at the level he should be.
Yeah.
Right? Last week, he had a pretty damn good game. So I want to give credit to him for that because I'm pretty sure he got over, 400 passing yards? Just over the hump.
Yeah.
So, I give him a lot of credit for that, man. I'm happy to see that because their run game has been pretty dominant this year for the most part, and it's really what they relied on early on in the season. So it's good to see Jimmy G coming in his own way, so but ultimately Green Bay is going to win this game. So if you gamblers out there, I told you a couple weeks ago, the best bet is to not to bet. But if you find your way walking up to a betting window, I'd probably take Green Bay. But what do I know?
Yeah, but it's Aaron Rodgers' homecoming, developed versus developing. A very interesting matchup.
It is.